We'll get started. Welcome to our yoga practice. Those that haven't joined us, obviously I am just still doing my training for the yoga instructor course. So not qualified yet, so just a bit of a practice for me to run through some of the poses. Otherwise, just find ourselves in a comfortable position. We'll just do our normal yoga warm-up. So sitting cross-legged, hands can be on our knees, and we'll just slow our body down into a nice breathing pattern. So a nice deep breath, inhale through our nose, and exhaling through our mouth. So whether we get into a pattern of inhaling through our nose for 3 counts and then exhaling through our mouth for 5 counts, so a little bit longer, just slowing that body down. Let's go 3 more nice deep breaths. And slowly placing one hand on the side, we'll lean over, stretching out that side of our body. Nice deep stretch on our side. Still maintain that nice slow breathing. And over to the other side, reaching up and over. And let's go one more time, either side. Really feeling that nice stretch down the side of our waist. And one more time to the other side. And just pop that other opposite hand on our opposite knee. Our other hand reaching behind, looking over that opposite shoulder, opening up that chest. Feeling that stretch in our back. And over to the other side. Opposite hand, opposite knee, other hand behind, eyes looking over that shoulder. And let's go one more time, either side. See if we can open up a little bit further. Just to start warming that body up. And last one. And slowly forward it, folding in front of our body. So creeping those hands out in front. Trying to take that chest down towards the ground. Feeling that stretch in our back and into our glutes. And slowly rock side to side. And slowly coming up. Righty, I will come up to our standing into our sun salutation. So exactly what we have been doing, but this time our feet are going to be a little bit wider. So rather than feet together, we're going to do our sun salutations with our feet wide. Okay, so reaching those arms up, nice deep inhale through our nose. And exhale as we forward fold down. Lunge that front leg back into our lunge position, opening up that chest. Our other foot comes back into our downward dog. Straightening those arms, hovering forward into our plank position, slowly coming down, opening up, upward facing dog, stretching out that back, tuck those toes under, back to that downward facing dog, and then lunge that foot forward but on the outside of those hands, and step that other leg forward and go again. So those legs are wide, inhale, reaching up. Exhale, fold down, hands in between those legs. Step that other leg back into our lunge position. Other foot goes back. Downward facing dog, feeling that stretch in the back of our legs. Hovering forward into that plank and slowly lowering down into our upward facing dog. Toes come under. Downward facing dog again. And lunge that same foot forward on the outside of those hands so it's wider. And if you've got good balance, step that other foot forward. Let's go one more time either side. So inhale, reaching up. Exhale, fold down, hands in between those feet. Step that foot back into our lunge. Our other foot comes back into our downward facing dog. See if we can deepen that stretch more. Take those heels into the ground, hovering forward, plank hold, slowly coming down, upward facing dog. Tuck those toes under, downward facing dog again. Lunge that front foot forward again on the outside of those hands, and other foot forward one more time. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, fold down. Inhale, lunge that other foot back. And step that other one back, downward facing dog. Hovering forward into our plank and slowly coming down. Upward facing dog. Toes come under, downward facing dog. And lunge that other foot forward. And stepping in and slowly coming up. Radio, we'll go into our standing strength, so feet out nice and wide. Okay, it's going to go into a wide squat, so feet can be out quite wide. We're just going to hold here in our squat position. Okay, even if you want to get nice and low, you can pop those elbows on the inside of those knees or on the thigh there. And holding here for 10 seconds. So trying to sit up nice and tall. You can choose how low you want to go. 3, 2, 1, and forward folding down. Hands can come down into the ground. We can straighten out those legs a bit. Holding that forward fold. And slowly coming back to that squat position. Keeping those legs nice and tight and strong. 10 more seconds. That's it. 2, 1, and forward folding down, pushing that butt back, straightening those arms, stretching that back. Legs can straighten a little bit. And one more time, down into that squat again. Nice and low. Remember, we can come up higher if we need to. Or stay down nice and low. Okay, pushing those elbows in towards those knees. Let's go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And forward fold down. Hands on the ground. Stretching out that back. And slowly coming up. Rightio, let's go into our warrior 2. So one foot facing towards the screen, our other foot spacing out to the side, reaching out nice and long, leaning forward. I'm going to go straight into our sun warrior. Okay, so our hand goes down that leg of that straight one, our other hand straight up towards the sky. And then we're going to straighten that other knee. That's it. And when you're ready, we're slowly going to come forward the other way, balancing on that one leg, reaching up out to the side and holding here. So arms stacked on top of each other, trying to lift up that leg as high as we can. 3, 2, 1. Put that foot back down, straight back into our warrior. And slowly pop that hand down on the ground into our extended warrior. Feeling that stretch, still trying to keep those legs nice and strong, leaning in towards that knee. So option 1, we can stay here, or we can pop that hand behind our back, opening up that chest and holding here. Let's go 3, 2, 1, and slowly coming back up and hold, leaning into that warrior 2. Let's go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and coming up. Swapping over to the other side, the other foot facing the other direction, our other foot facing towards the screen, bending that knee, leaning in towards that leg. Remember, we want that knee to come over those toes. So the more we lean in, the more we're going to have to hold on to that strength. And slowly leaning back into our sun warrior. Keep that leg nice and straight. Keeping our legs nice and strong. Then when you're ready, straighten that leg. Still leaning over. Arms coming down. That's it. Coming back up into our warrior two. And when you're ready, slowly coming up, balancing on that leg, lifting that leg up, lowering that hand down towards the ground, opening up that chest, and working on that balance. Let's go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and down. Stepping back down, straight back into that warrior two. Working on that strength of our legs. Pop that hand down on that bent knee. Our elbow can go onto that thigh. Reaching that arm out. And then option 1 to stay here, or option 2, reach that hand behind and opening up that chest, still leaning in towards that bent knee. Let's go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly coming up, finishing off in that warrior two, leaning out nice and long. That's it, and slowly coming up. Rightio, next one's our balance, okay? So coming up towards the end of, or the end of our mat, we're gonna lunge one leg back, okay? Reaching those arms up, straight up above. And then slowly leaning forward, still holding into that lunge position. And then coming down. And when you're ready, lifting up that back leg, holding into our balanced position. So leaning forward, leg up. And still keeping that leg up, coming up, out in front. And arms coming out to the side. Aeroplane, so working on that balance, still balancing on that one leg. Leg comes straight back up behind us. Let's go 3, 2, 1, and slowly coming down. Same leg that we just had up. Okay, it's going to hold it with our same hand. Okay, so our dancing pose, holding out and reaching that arm out in front. Still balancing on that same leg. So obviously, even if you want, you can lean further forward, lifting up that foot up higher. Let's go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and slowly coming up. Rightio, let's lunge that other leg back. So lunging, stepping that leg up, reaching those arms up. Opening up that chest, stretching out that back, leaning forward, holding into that lunge, and slowly coming down. And when you're ready, lifting up that leg as we've still got those hands down and that foot straight up behind us. And slowly coming up, keeping that leg up, arms coming out to the side. And holding that balance. And if you can, stay on that same leg, lifting up that leg, same hand, same foot, reaching it behind us, other hand reaching out in front. So option here, standing up nice and tall, or we can lean over. Let's go 3, 2, 1, and slowly coming down. Radio coming in front. Let's twist one foot behind us. Okay, still working on that balance. So option 1, hands can be in front with each other, or we can wrap, if you're super flexible, wrap those hands around each other. Standing up nice and tall. Still just working on that balance. And when you're ready, we can unlock those hands, reaching back into that baby back bend with those legs still crossed over. Working on our balance here. 3, 2, 1. Unlock those feet. Other foot behind. Okay, option 1, hands in front. Option 2, linking them up. Okay, and holding here. And when you're ready, reaching those arms up and leaning back into our baby back bend. Still trying to stand up nice and tall. Let's go 3, 2, 1, and up. Righto, coming back into that lunge. We're going to go back into our half floating moon again. Okay, so lunging forward, and when you're ready, picking up that one leg, keeping that knee straight. Okay, opening up that chest. Okay, obviously if you can lift up that leg a little bit higher. Then I want you to think about straightening that leg now. So rather than having it bent, straightening that leg. Let's go 3, 2, 1, and coming up. Other leg, so I'll have my back to you. So other foot forward, lunging back. And when you're ready, slowly picking up that leg behind, lowering that hand down towards our feet, lifting up that leg nice and high. Arms stacked on top of each other. Let's go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and down. Righto, coming down onto the ground, we'll come into our core. So lying down on our back. So feet up in tabletop position for those people that have done Pilates before. Okay, so our hands can just be down by our side. We're just going to go into, so one leg's going to drop, the other leg's going to extend. Okay, so it's a drop and extend. So just if you want to get into the pattern of that one, so feet are up in tabletop position. Okay, we drop one foot to the ground, our toes lightly touching the ground, and our other leg extends nice and long. Okay, just to start warming up that core. Try not to let that foot completely relax down on the ground. Just a light toe tap so we can really engage that core. Let's go 2 more. And last one either side. That's it. Right, so we're going to progress that one into, pop those hands behind our head, and we're going to progress that one into an oblique curl. So opposite hand or opposite elbow over towards the opposite knee. Reaching that other leg out nice and long. That's it. 2 more each side. Last one. And feet there, this time reaching those arms out. I'm going to go both legs extending, both arms extending back and bringing them in. So leg extends, arm extends, and back in. So keeping that core nice and tight. Okay, if you're finding that that back's arching, just extend one leg out rather than both legs. Okay, so you can alternate legs. Otherwise, if it feels comfortable, both legs out at the same time. That's it. Let's go 3 more. 2, 1, and feet down. Rightio, last one's going to be a modified nutcracker. Okay, so feet back up in tabletop. Bring those knees out wide, feet are still together. Our hands are going to come reaching up towards the sky. So we're going to do 3 taps with our toes and then extend those legs out. Okay, tap, 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 curl up, extend those legs. 3 taps with our toes, reaching out, arms through that gap. Okay, so the knees stay out nice and wide. Okay, and we're reaching through that gap, so it's like a V the entire time. A V with those knees out, and then a V with those legs as we extend them. Let's go 2 more. And last one. And slowly coming down. Righty, we're going to do that all again. So one more time, that was a bit of a practice one. So feet come up, hands can just be relaxing down by side again. So back to that leg drop and leg extension. So alternating sides, one foot dropping lightly down to the ground, our other leg extending nice and long. Okay, if that's too much, we can completely rest that foot down on the ground if you need. Okay, let's go 2 more each side. Last one. And slowly coming up, hands behind that head, straight into those oblique curls or our bicycle twist. Okay, reaching opposite elbow over towards our opposite knee, extending that other leg nice and long. That's it, 2 more each side. Last one. And hands coming up. Let's go straight into that leg extension and arm extension. Remember, if you need opposite leg, we can alternate. So you can go both legs at the same time or one leg at a time, alternating each one. Let's go 3 more. 2, 1, and coming down. Righto, last one is that modified nutcracker. So feet up, knees are wide, hands on top. So 3 taps with those feet, reaching up, extending those legs. 3, 2, 1, reach up and extend. That's it, keeping those knees wide. Let's go 2 more. And last one. Up and slowly coming down. Oh, I can feel that one in my groin a bit more. Okay, let's move into our core back. So staying where we are, I'm going to plant those feet into the ground, hands just relaxing down by side. You're going to slowly come up, lifting up those hips, squeezing those glutes. Okay, just holding here into our glute bridge. Option 1, we can stay here. Or option 2, we can clasp those hands behind us. That's going to really open up that chest, dig those shoulders in towards the ground. So we take off that weight, really squeezing those glutes and holding here for 5 nice deep breaths in and out. And slowly coming down, we're going to come over onto our side. Okay, and we're going to hold into a side plank position. So either we can be on our knees or on our toes. Okay, so on our knees, we're balancing on our elbow. Hands can be on our hip or hands can be up, or we can be up on our toes. Okay, and holding here. Working on that back, working on that core. Let's go 5 more seconds. 3, 2, 1, and slowly coming down. I'm going to come into our plank position. So again, we can be on our elbows or we can be on our hands, holding here in a plank position. And we're just going to slowly march our feet to the outside of those hands. Okay, so bringing them up towards those elbows, keeping that core nice and tight, marching that foot out to the side and as close up towards those hands if you need. If you need to come down to your knees, okay, you can. Just marching that knee or bringing that knee up nice and close towards those hands. So you can choose. Let's go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and slowly coming down. Let's roll over onto the other side for our side plank. Okay, on those knees. Okay, we can reach that hand up or on our hip, or we can be on our toes or feet spread apart and holding here. That's it. We've got 10 more seconds. 3, 2, 1. Coming down. One more time with that plank march. So on our hands or on our elbows, on our knees or on our toes, holding that plank and marching those feet out towards the side. Keeping that core nice and tight. Remembering those options if you need to go down to those knees. March that knee in nice and close. Or if we can and want to challenge ourselves, staying up on those toes. Let's go 3, 2, 1, and slowly coming down. Staying on those hands and knees. Okay, we're going to go into our kneeling pointer. So reaching that opposite hand to opposite leg out, reaching it out nice and long, and holding here. Working on that core, working on that back and our balance. If you're feeling up to it, take it out to the side. So it's our diagonal kneeling pointer, reaching out nice and long. 10 seconds. 3, 2, 1, and swap those legs over and hands. Other hand reaching out nice and long. Opposite leg extended out behind us. Keeping everything nice and strong and long. And if you're feeling up to it, we can go out on the diagonal, out towards the side. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and slowly coming up. Radio. We're going to come up, finish off with just a forward bend and a hamstring stretch. So feet out nice and wide. Going to go back into that forward fold. So leaning forward, feeling that stretch in the backs of those legs. Folding that body forward. If you can, if you want to, you can clasp those hands behind us and you can reach it right back behind us, straight back up or behind. If that's too much, obviously just keep holding that forward bend. Okay, or otherwise stretching out that back, opening up those arms. Let's go 3, 2, 1, and slowly coming down onto our back. Okay, finish off with a hamstring stretch. So bringing that leg up towards our chest as straight as possible if you can. Hopefully you don't have a bend in your knee. Option 1, that other knee can be planted down, or that foot, sorry, can be planted on the ground. Or if you're feeling up to it, you can have that nice and long. Bringing that hamstring in towards that chest. And swap those legs over, grabbing onto the calf of that other leg. Okay, bringing that leg in towards our chest, option 1. Our other leg stays bent on the ground, or we can extend it nice and long. Let's go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And slowly coming up, have those legs nice and long, and we'll just finish with a forward fold. Trying to take that nose down towards our knees, reaching those arms out, taking that chest down, that nose down as close as we can. Nice deep breaths. Let's go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. and slowly coming up. So if you want to stay, you can. Otherwise, if you need to go, sorry, you can. Otherwise, I'll just run you through a short body scan. Okay, so just sitting. We can be sitting with our legs crossed, sitting up nice and tall. Hands can be on our knees, either palms facing up or palms facing down. Okay. So begin by bringing your attention into your body. You can close your eyes if that's comfortable for you. You can notice your body seated, wherever you're seated, feeling the weight of your body on the chair or on the floor. Take a few deep breaths. And as you take a deep breath, bring in more oxygen into the body. And as you exhale, have a sense of relaxing more deeply. You can notice your feet on the floor. Notice the sensations of your feet touching the floor. The weight and the pressure, vibration and heat. You can notice your legs against the floor or on the chair. Pressure, pulsing, heaviness and lightness. Notice your bottom on the floor. Bring your attention into your stomach area. If your stomach is tense or tight, let it soften. Take a breath. Notice your hands. Are your hands tense or tight? See if you can allow them to soften. Notice your arms. Feel any sensation in your arms. Let your shoulders be soft. Notice your neck and throat. Let them be soft and relax. Soften your jaw and let your face and facial expressions be soft. Then notice your whole body present. Take one more breath. Be aware of your whole body as best as you can. Take a breath, and when you're ready, open your eyes, and we'll finish off with the stretch that we started with. So just take your hands over to the side, reaching that arm over to the side. Seeing if we can lean over a little bit further now the body's nice and warm. And over to the other side. And take opposite hand to opposite knee, opening up that chest. One last stretch. And over to the other side. And our forward fold down. Hopefully we can get a little bit lower. And slowly coming up, and namaste.